Hello, I'm Johnny Sutter, and I just wanted to take a moment of your time to talk to you about something that really excites me, that being AI. And I'm not talking about artificial intelligence or even Allen Iverson. I'm actually talking about animal intelligence. Now, growing up, I frequented the Chattanooga Zoo with my grandparents. I bet I went every week. And each week, my favorite part was always going to see the chimpanzees. So I would waltz up to their little reinforced glass enclosure and watch as they scream and play and interact with each other. And then, after I'd had my fix, for about 5 minutes or so, I would move on to go see the snow leopards or the red pandas or what have you. But the chimps, they wouldn't go anywhere. And why would they need to anyway? They've got everything they could possibly want right there in their enclosure, like peanut butter and enrichment activities and a jungle gym and a jungle gym. So that's where they stayed for the next week in their 100 by 100 foot enclosure until I would come to watch them for another 5 minutes. What I did not know, however, about those same silly animals who would scream and play and throw their excrement against the walls is that they were a lot more complex than the side that I saw through the glass of the Chattanooga Zoo. In fact, chimps are believed to be one of the most intelligent animal species on the planet. They can empathize with other creatures. They can comprehend abstract themes like trade and intrinsic value, and they can even use stone tools, and some researchers have even found them displaying rudimentary signs of religious rituals. And that made me begin to question the morality of keeping these beautiful and intelligent animals in cages for us to gawk at. Not to imply that they've been mistreated by their handlers in any way, or even to say that they can't feel happy in captivity, but I believe it poses an interesting question. Do we as humans have the right to keep these beautiful and intelligent animals in zoos for our amusement? Much in the same way, we've been keeping dolphins in places like SeaWorld for decades. Similarly to chimps, dolphins are exceptionally brilliant creatures. In fact, they have the second highest encephalization quotient of all animal species besides humans. By the way, encephalization quotient is just a fancy human word meaning brain to body size ratio. So not only do dolphins have an intimate understanding of their undersea environment, being able to do things like placing sponges on their noses to protect them from sharp coral as they scavenge through the sea floor, or using pufferfish toxins as a means of getting intoxicated. But they can also pass this information down to their children, and their children down to their children, and so on. They're really amazing. They can empathize with other creatures like chimps, and they've even been shown to mourn their dead. Just to think those are the same animals that we make do flips and catch fish for our amusement. Crows, another animal that many people may not peg for being the most intelligent, actually have an extreme aptitude for puzzle solving and facial recognition and tool use. A famous example of this comes from a trial in which crows are placed in front of a graduated cylinder filled with water and a walnut, and they have to figure out to put stones in the water to raise the water level enough to where they can access the walnut with their beak. And from this test, it was determined that crows actually have the problem-solving skills of a 7-year-old human child, which is mind-blowing. And the fact is, I could sit here for another hour and give you example after example of animals displaying intelligence far beyond what most people would expect of them, like the giant Pacific octopus, or the cuttlefish, or even your household pet and their ability to sense your emotions, but I digress. What I'm really getting at here is that there are other animals that live on this planet with us, thinking, breathing creatures that are often a lot more complex than they may seem. Animals that sadly are cast to the wayside often if they don't make for good pets. And I'd like to make it clear that by no means does an animal's intelligence determine its value, nor does its service to humanity. Animal intelligence as a topic was simply a means of fighting the one-sided narrative that faces animals, and it was meant in no way to diminish the value of any animal of comparatively lesser intelligence. So all in all, I would encourage you to extend your love of and respect towards animals past simply the dogs and cats of our world, but to the thousands upon thousands of intelligent and beautiful creatures with which we share a home. Thank you.